U.S. increasing military capabilities in the Middle East. What does the recent rise in U.S. military operations to the Middle East mean for the safety of the area in the future? The stakes have never been higher because new weapons are on the way to protect U.S. troops in Israel from growing threats from Iran and its allies. What effects will these strategic moves have on the balance of power in the area? What effects will these moves have on world stability as a whole? This important news is something you won't want to miss. The United States of America is making preparations to dispatch additional defensive military capabilities to the Middle East in order to counterbalance the mounting threats that are posed by Iran and militias that are sponsored by Iran. This measure is being made to bolster force protection for United States forces that are stationed in the region. Other than defending Israel from the growing number of threats, this step is also being taken to protect Israel. Sabrina Singh, who serves as the Deputy Press Secretary for the Pentagon administration, is the one who issued the statement. In light of the fact that this deployment is both urgent and significant from a strategic standpoint, she highlighted how important it is. Historical implications and background information. The United States of America has made the decision to strengthen its military presence in the Middle East as a result of a string of significant events that have taken place in the region. Hamas carried out a series of attacks against Israel during the month of October 2023, which marked the beginning of a time of period in which the level of warfare was significantly increased. Immediately after this, there were more escalations that took place in April, when Iran and groups that were supported by Iran escalated the amount of strikes that they were carrying out against Israel. In response, the United States of America assembled a coalition that successfully safeguarded Israel from a bombardment of armed drones and missiles. This action exemplified the United States' commitment to giving assistance to its friend during times of crisis. The renewed military deployment of the United States is directly attributable to the ongoing conversations that are taking place between high-ranking officials from the United States and Israel. According to reports, President Joe Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met yesterday evening to address the constantly shifting security situation. It has been reported by Singh that these conversations transpired. A follow-up discussion took place this morning between Secretary of Defense Lloyd J. Austin IE and Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. The purpose of this meeting was to further solidify the United States' commitment to upgrading its defensive posture in the region. The following is a list of specifics regarding the deployment strategies and objectives. In addition to providing Israel with more support, the primary objective of the new deployment is to enhance the capabilities of the United States military in terms of conducting defense. Singh highlighted the fact that the deployment would involve a large number of force posture moves that will take place in the near future. This is despite the fact that the specific information regarding the units or forces that would be participating in the deployment has not yet been determined. It is now the case that the United States of America maintains a robust defense infrastructure in the Middle East. The additional capabilities will either add to the forces that are already present or bring in new assets to the theater of operations. Singh made the point that the United States military's global defense posture is dynamic and capable of rapid deployment in order to deal with a variety of threats to national security that are constantly arising throughout the world. Having this degree of adaptability is vitally required in a setting where dangers might materialize and become more severe in a relatively short period of time. This deployment is a demonstration of the United States' commitment to maintaining a robust and responsive military presence in the Middle East, which is being demonstrated by the United States. By making this commitment, the United States of America guarantees that it will be prepared to face any challenges that may develop in the future. Defense-related capabilities as well as the ability to ward off potential dangers. There are two objectives that are anticipated to be met by the extra defensive capabilities that are now being dispersed. These objectives are to protect the forces of the United States of America and to discourage potential aggressors. Singh underlined that these capabilities would be solely defensive in character, with the objective of providing a clear message of deterrence to any parties that could be considering action against assets or friends of the United States. This was done with the intention of preventing any potential actions from being taken against the United States. Some of the precautionary measures that have been put into place include the implementation of advanced systems for missile defense, expanded capabilities for monitoring and reconnaissance, and increased defensive postures for critical military positions. These steps are meant to offer a formidable defense for Israel, which is a vital ally in the region. While the primary goal of these measures is to increase the protection of the people and assets of the United States, they are also intended to safeguard Israel. Coordination of efforts with partners and allies is an important aspect. In an effort to bring about a reduction in the level of tension in the Middle East, the United States of America will continue to collaborate closely with its different partners and allies. Additionally, this will be carried out in conjunction with the implementation of additional capabilities. Singh noted that the coordinated efforts that have been vital in fighting recent attacks have resulted in the efficiency of the coalition in defending Israel against missile and drone strikes. This was one of the things that Singh emphasized as being a result of having been essential in combating recent assaults. The international operation known as Operation Prosperity Guardian, which is currently taking place in the territory of the Red Sea, is an example of the continuing collaboration that is taking place. During the course of this operation, the goal is to ensure that there is no interruption in the flow of maritime commerce in the region, while at the same time ensuring that significant sea corridors remain safe. The United States of America and its allies continue to be committed to giving support for initiatives of this like in order to preserve peace in the region and prevent any further escalation of this situation in the future. Pay attention to the efforts that are being made in nonviolent intervention and humanitarian aid. The United States policy places a significant emphasis on humanitarian operations and de-escalation, which is one of the most critical parts of the policy. Singh underlined the need of working toward a ceasefire agreement as a means of attaining these aims in order to reduce tensions and create stability in the region. He felt that this was the best way to accomplish these objectives. Continued efforts are being made by the United States of America to get a ceasefire deal that would not only take care of the ongoing conflict, but would also make it simpler for militant organizations to free American prisoners who are now being kept captive. The deployment of defensive assets is a component of a more complete plan that is intended to achieve the goal of generating a stable environment that is susceptible to diplomatic solutions. By bolstering its defensive posture, the United States of America seeks to discourage more aggression and provide a framework for successfully negotiating a long-term resolution to the conflict. This will be accomplished by deterring further aggression. Possible consequences and prospects for the future of the situation. Increasing the number of United States military personnel stationed in the Middle East has a lot of implications, not only for the safety of the region, but also for the state of relations between nations across the world. In the first place, it underlines the commitment of the United States of America to safeguarding its allies and maintaining peace in a region that is prone to instability. Additionally, the deployment conveys to potential adversaries that the United States is prepared to take decisive action in order to protect not just its own interests, but also the interests of its partners. This is a message that the United States is ready to send. The introduction of new defensive capabilities has the potential to alter the strategic environment in the Middle East, which may have an impact on the calculations of the various actors involved in the conflict. This transformation may have an influence on the strategic environment. For the United States of America to achieve long-term stability, it will be vital for them to continue to preserve their flexibility and reactivity to new challenges, while also working in conjunction with their allies. This will be necessary as the situation continues to grow. The deployment of enhanced defensive military capabilities to the Middle East represents a big step toward the direction of resolving the evolving security challenges that are present in the region. This is because the Middle East is a region that is becoming increasingly unstable. The United States is demonstrating its dedication to preserving regional stability and enhancing its strategic position in a number of different ways. Two of these methods are increasing the amount of force protection for United States personnel and providing defense for Israel. It will be crucial to maintain collaboration with allies, place an emphasis on deterrence, and make moves toward de-escalation as the situation continues to evolve in order to successfully navigate the complexities of the conflict in the Middle East. This will be necessary in order to successfully navigate the conflict. If you found this analysis of U.S. military deployments and their impact on the Middle East insightful, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications.